All right, welcome everybody around the world. Welcome to all my subscribers. If I seem a bit perturbed, it's only because I'm basically having an anxiety attack, a minor one, because I was stressed out and busy. My work day is today. I finally have a chance to make a video, so I'm going to do that, but I feel quite winded. And anyways, so I just wanted to share with everybody this important update. Hopefully people watch this. Not enough people ever do watch my stuff, but there is major and growing deception regarding extraterrestrials. And I'm not one of those people that demonizes all extraterrestrials as evil and demons. That's ridiculous. And you'll probably pay for that on Judgment Day. But what could likely happen? I'm not saying that this will happen, but what could likely happen is either because of mankind, authorities, or because of the extraterrestrials themselves. But at some point, there's a lot of buzz and talk from the grapevine, so to speak, that there's going to be some big revelation soon with extraterrestrials. Now, I would like to believe as a religious person that this will be just the celestial messengers arriving to do their part for the end of days. Hopefully the good ones, are in control. That's what I believe. They're in control. So we shouldn't really have anything to worry about. Ultimately, God's in control. I'm personally expecting, the end of days to arrive at some point this year or in the next few years type of thing, basically imminently. And we should expect to see arrival of beings. We won't know what they are, you know what I mean? But the Bible tells us that the armies of heaven will be arriving. So I'm expecting that. But unfortunately, at the same time is what I expect, the word from the grapevine is that there is going to be some type of arrival grand disclosure event in, this year or the next few years, if by 2027 or so. Now, the problem with this is that from what I've heard, whatever group of extraterrestrials is going to claim this, or whether it's actually humans that's making this as a lie, in either case, what I've heard is that there's going to be this big lie. It's not being presented as a lie, but that there's this big lie that God and religion is basically the construct of aliens who've been visiting the earth for thousands of years. And there's two stories, right? One is that it was neutral or negative aliens that helped create us from cavemen or primitive ancestor type things, right? I don't believe any of this, but and supposedly they're going to be able to show evidence of this. It could be faked evidence. I've also said before, it's possible that some beings did assist in our creation. Genesis does allude to that. But at the end of the day, that doesn't replace God. So the problem is that there's going to be this lie that aliens created us. There could probably going to be very good technological evidence or trickery to fool us into thinking that going really deep into genetics, like super deep, max level deep that you couldn't even imagine, and it's going to be utterly convincing. I've seen a lot of this stuff so far, and it's quite convincing. And if I didn't have the footwork I did in the Bible, it would have made me lose faith, because it's very convincing stuff. It goes way off into the deep end too. There's even certain individuals, not just random people, but certain individuals who have claimed that Earth is a prison planet and that our souls are put here, in control by these extraterrestrials, whether good or bad. Like I said, there's two categories. They're either good or neutral to bad. Two different scenarios. So whether good or bad ones created us, whatever, the lie is going to be that beings created us, whether good or bad, and basically it's going to usurp God and religion. Now, this is, a lot of people are saying this is one of the main reasons for secrecy with UFOs and aliens all these decades, because they're afraid the billions of people who are religious would go crazy from hearing this stuff. But at the end of the day, it doesn't take away from God. I've explained in my videos that God explained outer space, aliens, everything. It's all in the Bible, like explained. I'm not talking about Ezekiel's wheel. I'm talking about lots of verses that explain these things. So anybody who is religiously founded in the Bible shouldn't be shocked by all this. But most people are uneducated in what the Bible says. almost everybody on the planet has no clue about what the Bible says about outer space and aliens. So everybody's ripe to be deluded and fooled by whatever lies are coming. But it goes deeper, like I said, because there's people claiming that Earth is like a prison planet. Whilst I can agree with that, I've talked about that in my talks before and in my books. It's definitely a strong possibility, even based on Bible verses. The danger is, just like with the serpent in Eden, you don't have to be told a blatant lie. You can be told something that is basically truth, but it can be twisted or skewed, so that indirectly you end up going astray. And I think that's quite likely what we may potentially face if any of this deception comes to fruition. So the deep end of the story involves, and it is deep end. It sounds crazy. Don't get me wrong. I don't believe it, right? But this is probably what they're going to tell people. And people are being told this now, and a lot of people are believing it, that these extraterrestrials, whether in the scenario where they're good or in the scenario where they're neutral or bad, in either case, it doesn't matter. But we're going to be told, and people are being told, that, you know, God and all this is just imaginary. It was just aliens the whole time. And the deep end is where they even try to account for the afterlife. So I have heard a story spun that when humans die on this prison planet, which has all been engineered by the aliens, that the aliens are the ones who appear as God in the bright light at the end of the tunnel. And I have heard that this is all technological. I don't believe this. I'm just saying what I've heard and what people are believing, that there is a supreme technology that these beings possess because they're so far more advanced we can't even imagine. And in some degree, allegedly, they care about us, you know, in the good alien scenario. In the bad alien, neutral alien scenario, it's, you know, well, in the neutral alien scenario, they're just trying to, more of a neutral perspective. In the negative alien scenario, they're trying to do something to control us or use us for something. But even in the good alien scenario, it's still all lies, because what they're saying is that everything's technological. When you die and you see the bright light, the tunnel, and you speak to these beings, the angels or God or whatever, it's just these aliens, and it's all part of technology. It's just technology. It's not God. And that their technology is so advanced that it takes your soul from your body. It could put your soul into new bodies. It takes you to different worlds, blah, blah, blah. So everything that is accounted for in the Bible and religion is being portrayed as aliens and technology. Everything, like everything, the rapture, salvation, your soul, God, religion, everything they're saying is a product of the aliens and their technology. And obviously it's not true, right? But if this grand deception comes out, it could very well be very deceiving. Okay, whether at the hands of people trying to deceive us or at the hands of beings trying to deceive us. But I just want to tell everybody, look, rest in assurance in God. I don't have time to get into more detail now, right? But just rest in assurance in God. Keep your faith. Don't give up the hope. Don't believe any hype. The Bible has made it clear what's going to happen. All the prophecies in the Bible so far have come true in regards to the course of human timeline and history up until the end. We have all reason to believe that the prophecies are from God, that they're legitimate from an omnipotent being, that they're not from aliens. And at the end of the day, we just rest in faith in God. Okay, just rest in faith in God. Don't believe these stories if it ever does come to light. And no matter what type of grand deception takes place, just don't believe it. Don't believe it. I'm just warning people now, because the things that I've heard are so far out there, so intense, and it could really, really convince people. Like I said, even down to our DNA. Okay, there's going to be grand deception involving every aspect of everything that you can think of. And just don't be fooled by it. Okay, there is an omnipotent God. If there are aliens, something created them. They didn't create themselves. Okay, so don't believe the hype if any of this comes to light. I really hope and believe that the end days is coming soon, and that with that comes God, Jesus, and the angels, and that they're going to set everything right, make everything right, explain everything in due course, and protect those who deserve to be protected, and to take us away to a better place, to live a better life as we're meant to have. Just rest in assurance of that. God is in control. Okay, the Bible does not say that there's going to be a fake rapture. It does say bad things happen in the end of days, and there's fallen angels and this and that, and there might be some deception for a period of time. But no matter how long that deception lasts for, if it does occur, just rest in assurance of God, no matter what is occurring. Okay, no matter what. We have Dr. Stephen Greer, who this whole time has been spinning this story that authorities, I'll just use that buzz term, are concocting a grand lie that aliens are bad and that bad aliens are doing this and that to us. I used to think he was just wrong in that. I believe him on many other things, but on that there, I was like, no, that sounds far fetched. And he says a lot of like UFO activity and abductions are being staged, and he has this whole storyboard, and it just sounds a bit out. It sounds crazy, right? And I didn't want to believe it all this time. But after the grapevine stuff that I've been hearing lately, especially in these last few weeks, a lot of this stuff isn't new. It's been out there for decades, but it's just been building up and becoming more widely talked about and propagated by individuals who are highly listened to. Um, Therefore, giving it more, credibility, more credibility that this deception may occur. Okay, so if that's true, then maybe what Dr. Greer is saying is correct. I don't know. There's possible different scenarios. One is that there's humans pulling the foolery. If that's true, then Dr. Greer was right. If it's not humans doing the foolery and it's a certain extraterrestrials doing the foolery, then Dr. Greer is not correct. This isn't all about Dr. Greer. Anyways, I'm so stressed out today. I can't think straight. I'm in such a rush. I have to get going. But I want everybody to be prepared in case something like this happens. Like if I didn't thread this little warning and try to help prepare people, and then some crazy UFO arrival happens, and no matter who's the guilty party here, whether it's people, some aliens, or whatever, if this event, something like this does occur and some grand deception occurs, you could see millions or billions of Christians just lose their faith when they're presented with the evidence, all this technological deception from the people or the aliens, whatever it might be, whatever scenario. It'll be very easy to be fooled. And in Revelations, that verse I was reading the other day, one of the only verses that talks about any form of beings at the end of days deceiving people is when it says these unclean spirits that resemble frogs go out from the mouth of Satan and from the mouth of the beast, and they go out to even the elect and the rulers of the world to deceive them. Right? This may be for a very short period of time, might be only for a day, like the final day itself, right before Jesus arrives. We don't know how long that type of deception will last for, but unfortunately, the Bible does seem to support that that type of thing would occur. So we may, even biblically, we may see this type of deception. That's why I want everybody to be prepared. Don't give up your faith. Endure till the end, like the Bible and like Jesus tells us to do. You'll get your reward for your faith. So do that. Anyways, take care. I got to go. God bless.